Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. We have with us in the house Uncle James Ali Bashir reacting to the um, training videos that have been coming out with Anthony Joshua. Uncle, how are we doing?
We're doing okay.
Fantastic. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. I'm here in Warsaw, Poland, uh, in training camp here in Warsaw, Poland. We got a fight coming up this Saturday evening.
Okay. With Vladimir Kazak, is it?
Kasuk. Yes,
Kasuk.
Kasuk.
Okay, so how many fights has Kasuk had now?
This will be his third fight.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Joshua, and let's talk about the training sessions he's had. There have been videos of him. I hope they are old videos because there's videos of Joshua at the moment training. One of them was him bouncing back and forth in looked like a playground, with a few cones behind him, bouncing back and forth between cones. And another video which came out yesterday was him bouncing back and forth again and ducking in and out of the, under a piece of string. And a lot of people were getting excited because they said that was the way to solve his head movement. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's neither here nor there. It's just standard training. I mean, you can't say it's wrong, and it does not necessarily have to be right. It's just routine training apparatus. That's all.
But
I think that a guy as big as Anthony Joshua has to learn, especially in a case with a shorter fighter like Ruiz. He's got to learn how to box tall and stay in that venue, a tall venue, instead of ducking and bending down, going on the ropes and stuff like that. There, I think that's standard training. I don't think it applies to tall boxers.
when you with a situation like this, we debated last night, and one of the reasons why I was talking about them not having a rematch so soon was that there were a lot of things that Anthony Joshua would have to learn in between now and September, October, November, when the fight's going to be this year. That I don't think he would learn that in enough time, and Luis can continue from the last fight and basically jump on Joshua, and all the stuff that he's learned will go out the window because he'll revert back to type because it isn't part of his system or makeup. What are your thoughts on this?
I think there's some kind of pride issue. I don't know whether it's the right thing to go right back because of the way that this his loss happened. It looked more psychological than it did physical. It just looked like he gave up at some point during the fight, that he just wasn't into it for whatever the reason. So I think that it would be wise to maybe take a fight, maybe two fights before going back. He could reserve the title fight, his options to have the rematch. I think that he can reserve that right and still have the two fights, provided he doesn't lose. I don't know what the rush is to get back, but it seems to me like it's just pride. It's pride. He just wants to get back, and I don't know whether it's the right thing to do.
What do you make of Joshua's state of mind, Uncle? In the way he's looking to get back and fight straight away.
I don't even know whether it's Joshua's desire to go back. It might be those people around him, mainly the promoter. It could be Joshua, but I don't know whether it's the wise thing to do. I've seen here hundreds of times over the years where a guy goes right back out of pride, out of anger, out of emotion. And most of the time, they don't do well. I mean, there were those times that they came back and won, but then they lost right after that. So this issue carries over the Ruiz fight. Even if he came back and won the Ruiz fight, would he be prepared for the next challenger and the next challenger? I don't think so. From what I viewed in the fight itself.
Somebody says that it's the beginning of a new of a beginning stage of the camp, and we shouldn't really look too much into him bouncing in and out of under the ropes. But I mean, for me personally, as a tall guy, as you said, alluded to earlier, Uncle, what is a tall guy ducking under a rope for when he's going to be dealing fighting a guy that's shorter than him? He should be the one, standing upright and fighting like a bug man.
That's where capable footwork comes in there, to avoid bending, because it seems to me that he got in trouble bending down with Ruiz in the first place. Ruiz was able to land the big overhand right on the temple, and that's what first got him in trouble. So fighting tall is an issue. When you got a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", and another guy that's 6'1", yeah, fighting tall is a big issue.
Do you think it's as easy as he just has to, like a lot of people say, some people suggesting he just has to watch Lennox Lewis videos? That's how he'll be able to come back and put a dominant performance against Ruiz. Is it as simple as just sitting down, watching some tape, and then going in the ring and doing it again?
Well, there's certain things that you can adapt and you can learn from watching the fighters of the past, but nobody can say how Ruiz is going to come. He's the heavyweight champion of the world now, and his outlook and his perspectives and his initiatives are going to be quite different than it was the first
time. What do you make of the fact that quite possibly Rob McCracken has taught Joshua all he can do and all he can learn, and Joshua just isn't adaptable and he can only fight this way?
I don't know what to say on that. I don't know what to say on that issue because I just don't know enough about the two of them.
The same way he.
Go ahead. I do believe that at a certain point, either a fighter is going to excel or he's going to recede. He's
stagnate.
I mean, it's the same reason with me and Ruan Vissa. If I can't get the productivity out of him that I need to get out for my own satisfaction, not for the satisfaction just of the boxer, but the trainer too has to be satisfied with the productivity that the fighter is putting out.
Yeah, that sounds great, Uncle. But what about the percentage? What about the percentage? The bottom line? Why are you there? You're getting paid. So even if that guy's not producing and you're teaching him, in the corner, you're telling that fighter what to do. If that fighter is unable to do what you've told him to do in the corner, then the trainer's not to blame them, is it?
Everybody likes money. I like money. But at the end of the day, I want to have a sense of security that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm actually helping a guy, that I'm actually making history here. Now I'm looking for longevity. I'm looking for legacy, I like money. I want to make money, and I've made some decent paydays over the time that I've been in boxing, but there are bigger paydays out there. Those are the big ones that I like to get to, If you don't see the productivity in the fighter, then the sense of achievement is gone. It's out the window. I don't want to be there just doing the mundane walk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shoot the jab, throw the hook. I don't want to do that. I want to have a sense of achievement that I'm excited about. At the end of the day, where I can say, "Wow, this guy is really, really proven he's getting better." If I don't see that there, then it takes away the life for the fighter. It takes away. In short, as a trainer, as a teacher, and I think there's a distinct difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
As a teacher, I want to, at the end of the day, see that the person that I'm teaching, I want to see what I'm teaching. I want to see him produce that in the fight. In the fight, you can do a whole lot of stuff in the gym. Hitting the bag and sparring and stuff like that, because you're sparring with cushion headgears on, big gloves on. And then when you get in the fight, you got small gloves on, no headgear. That's where the proving ground is in the actual fight. If I don't see that, if I don't see that there, then I'll have a sense of achievement. Then I'd rather just leave it be, let somebody else do it.
Okay. Okay. People are asking the question, maybe the first knockdown, was he properly prepared, or do you believe it was the first knockdown that that took it all out of Joshua? And smash the like button, by the way, people. Go ahead, Uncle.
Yeah, he got hit on the temple. Strange things happen when you get hit on the temple with 8-ounce glove, a powerful puncher like Ruiz. Strange things happen. You know, you either collect yourself or you're out of it. And it seems to me that Joshua never recovers from that.
Okay. Okay. Next question is, there has been some, last night somebody popped on the channel and he said that the reason why Joshua was the way that he was because he was fasting and he converted to Islam, and therefore he was fasting at the time, and that's the reason why he was so weak. And at the end of the fight, he did a prayer, an Islamic prayer. Now, what are your thoughts on that? And could that have had any effects?
Well, if he was fasting during the training tenure, yes, that's going to have an effect on him. All right. But it is not required. It is not necessary if the fast is going to conflict with something such as boxing. Boxing is a demanding sport.
Uncle, you there?
Pay close attention to your diet, you know, and if you don't pay attention to the diet, then it's going to hurt you. He doesn't have to do that. There's in Islam, you can have makeup. You can make up the fasting. You can make it up after the fight, but it is not required for him or for anybody that's a Muslim. It is not required for them to fast during the time that they're preparing to do their job. You know, you can eat, you can drink, and you can observe the fasting after the fight is over. But it's not required. It's not mandatory. It's not compulsory.
But he's
a boxer.
But he would not be the only the other heavyweight that's done that. Michael Bent did the same thing as well when he went and fought Herbie Hyde over the UK.
It's not wise. It's not wise. It's counterproductive to me. I'm Muslim practically all of my life. And there are times when you can fast and times when it's not required for you to fast. You understand? If you're under some kind of directions of a doctor and you're having medical problems, high blood pressure, where you're required to take medicines and stuff, not required to fast. No, that's counterproductive. The fast is not put in place to hurt people. It's put in place to help people, you know. But if it's going to be causing affliction on the person, then the person is not required to fast. No.
Thank you for that, Uncle. I appreciate that. Some are saying that it was a temple punch, therefore don't adjust anything. Joshua's fine as he is. It was just a temple punch. We overreacting, and he should go back in the ring and do. He's a fine boxer, and he should go back and do exactly what he's been doing in the past. Your thoughts, Uncle?
Well, I said as far back as 3 years ago that I saw the remaking of Frank Bruno.
I said it as well, Uncle. But hold on. You mentioned George Foreman, you know, and I said, hell no. Remember I said to you? Hell no, George Foreman.
I early on, when I first encountered Anthony Joshua, I said, this kid has the ability to become the second coming of George Foreman. He has the ability. I didn't say he had the chin. I didn't say he had the courage. I didn't say he had the staying power. It takes a lot of doing to be a George Foreman. But I did say that he had the ability. I won't shy away from that fact. And he does. But there's a whole lot of more ingredients that goes with the pie.
Having said that, Bruno had a much better jab than Joshua.
Yeah, but he still was muscular and robotical.
True, but that left jab caused. Go ahead, Uncle. Uncle?
AJ's, yeah, you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you, Uncle.
You hear me? Okay. Yeah, but AJ, he seems to be retrogression. You know, he seems to be retrogressing. He doesn't seem to be picking up momentum, headed in a direction where he's going to be around and have longevity.
Do you think the pressure of social media and being a billboard or poster boy has interrupted the progression of AJ? And if he had been dedicated in the gym like a Lennox Lewis and less of a poster boy and Instagram boy, and not his own fault, but just the way PR and social media is today, that he could have been a better fighter now?
Different strokes for different folks. Mentality plays a big part in what a person is and what a person becomes. But you got to be disciplined. I mean, Anthony's made a lot of money. Everybody is pulling on him. You know, he's an overnight success. One day you don't have nothing. The next day you've got everything. So it takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of discipline to maintain this course. You know, he's got millions of dollars in the bank. You know, yesterday he didn't have nothing. So it takes a lot to contend with that. You know, nobody can say, if a person is just living a normal life in 2 years and then the next 7 years you have millions of dollars, nobody can say how they're going to react, how disciplined they're going to remain, how long the discipline will remain. So it's very difficult.
Eve Popat says also that he spends too much time chatting to people on Snapchat and not in the gym.
Well, yeah, that's his personal life. You know, we don't know what he's doing outside of Snapchat and all these other things. But I do know when you preparing for a fight, I always, the boxers that I'm working with, especially when you get to those high profile fights, please, if you don't mind, let me give you the phone at a certain hour of the day, and then let me have the phone back at night. Give me the phone. If you really want to help yourself, give me the phone. You know.
So you can get. So Uncle, you can get in there and talk to all the ladies then.
No, I don't. I just don't like it. I just think it's a foolish thing to blow your career over.
Of course.
You know, give me your phone and let me hold your phone, and I'll give it to you in the morning. You know, you can turn the phone off. Just turn it off and give it to me. You know, I won't turn it on. Just turn it off and give it to me. If you want to help yourself, stay focused on the task at hand. Leave your phone be. You know, a lot of guys want to go back to their room in the dark and be on the phone till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Then got to get up and, do the pre-workout warm-ups and stuff, at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. It's just no good. You know, you have to stay focused. Boxing is a very, very, very demanding and difficult sport. And you cannot play hide and seek with it. You cannot play games with it. You know, I don't even want to work with guys like that. If the guy's not disciplined enough to stay off the phone at night and say, hey, look, go to somebody else. I don't have time for that foolishness. I just don't have time for it.
People in the room, smash the like button, please. We've got 12 in the house and only 5 people liking. Smash the like button. Okay, so Gogujo asked the question, what does Uncle Bashir think of holding the left hand low to offset Ruiz instead of using conventional hands up boxing stance? In other words, is a star switch necessary?
I think the hands low is for experienced fighters that's really adept to doing that. You know, slick enough to roll, rock, and avoid punches. But for a guy like Joshua, I would suggest keep your hands up. I don't think dropping his hands down. I don't think he has enough slick movements to avoid those big punches. So he needs to keep them up.
I had a gentleman in here yesterday suggesting to me that the way to keep Ruiz off him was to basically jab to the body. I said to him he'd be conceding his height and leave himself vulnerable to getting caught over the top. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a way to jab to the body without even having to bend. Mario fighters got to bend to throw to the jab, but there's a way to jab to the body without even bending. You know, if you got a stiff jab, you can do it. You can jab to the body easily without having to bend out, bend over, and give away anything according to your height. I don't think so.
Trap House Boxing says, what does Uncle Bashir think about AJ recovery time, and do you think he has the mental fortitude to overcome it?
From what I've seen, no, I don't think so. I think that he needs some time. He needs more than the time that he's being given. You know, you're coming back in October, November. I don't think that's going to solve anything. I think that he's going to go out there. Even if he wins, he's going to suffer some kind of setback in the fight. You know, even if he wins. So I think that they're rushing. It's like a pride thing. You know, I lost, and now I got to go back to show the same faith. I got to go back and try to win this fight. But even if he wins the fight, he's going to suffer some casualty in the fight.
How much damage do you think he's picked up before the fight, and then during the fight and after the fight, Uncle? I'm talking about. So Stacey McKinley talked about residual after getting knocked out in a fight. All that is still on your body. You haven't given your time, body to repair, to heal.
Well, psychologically, it's still there. That's the biggest problem. Psychologically, he's not going to be able to get out of his mind what happened that night. I don't care what nobody says. He got hit with some hard punches that night. You understand? He got hit with some hard punches, and psychologically, I don't know whether he's ready to go back yet. And remember, Ruiz is going to be a different animal this time because he's the heavyweight champion now.
He knows.
He likes that.
Yep.
He likes that. He likes that. He's wearing that with a badge of honor, and he's not going to just go back there and concede and give him back those belts. That's not going to happen.
Let me ask you a question about Ruiz. Talked a lot of Joshua. I did a video on Andy Ruiz. Are we looking at a Buster Douglas in Andy Ruiz, one who's going to eat himself out of the heavyweight division? And
I don't think so. But Buster Douglas looked like he wasn't comfortable in his role. He beat Mike Tyson. That was his goal. You know, he beat Mike Tyson. That was his goal. He got a lot of money for doing it, and he got lazy. They gave him a lot of money to fight Evander Holyfield. You understand? They gave him a lot of money, and he got soft. He beat Mike Tyson. That's my goal. I beat Mike Tyson. And after that day, he just never came to fruition. Nothing ever happened after that day. It's like I'm living for the weekend, you know? I beat Mike Tyson. That was my goal. I'm going to ride that into the sunset. That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did.
Do you think
Buster Douglas didn't do nothing after that.
Do you think he can get paid off? Do you think Ruiz would be susceptible to being paid off?
I think that the average human being can be paid off. The average, I'm not going to say every human being because I don't know about that. But I think the average human being can be paid off, you know. I think that Ruiz is very proud that he's the first Mexican-American to achieve the heavyweight championship. I think that he's going to be a proud champion. I think that he's going to go out on the shield. I don't care who he fights. I think he's going to go out on the shield. I don't see, from what I know about Ruiz, I don't see him surrendering the belt for any amount of money. I think he's proud of who he is. He's proud of the skin that he's in, and he's going to fight.
Trap House Boxing wants to follow up and says he didn't mean about the recovery time. He's talking about in between when he gets knocked down in fights. What do you reckon of Joshua's recovery time?
When he gets knocked down, fights. When he's getting knocked down, he's like anybody else. He's going through his mind saying, you know, there's a bunch of little people inside of his brain running around saying, battle stations, battle stations, battle stations. We've been knocked down, and it's likely we're going to get knocked down again if we get up too soon. It's a lot of things that goes on in a person's mind when they get dazed and when they get knocked down, he's getting hit in the temple and stuff. So it's a lot of stuff going on inside the guy's brains and inside of that ring.
Randy Orton says Vladimir used to have issues with recovery time early in his career. How did he improve on this, or was it just conditioning?
It was conditioning and desire. You know, Vladimir worked hard to shake the impression that he didn't have a chin. So he worked on that in the training. He worked very hard on that day, you know, and he proved it in the Samuel Peters fight, you know, by getting off the floor 3 times. And he was getting hit in the head. Some of those punches was illegal punches. He was getting hit in the back of the head, on the side of the head, but he still got up, you know. So it's mental fortitude as well as training attitude.
I have to come back and ask you about a statement you made recently. Hey, smash the like button. What's going on, people? About Hughie Fury's fight with Samuel Peter. Do you still stand by what you said about Samuel Peter?
I'm saying that the Samuel Peter that I recently saw in Nevada, that Samuel Peter could come in and give Hughie Fury a run for his money. Hughie is in a good place because he's coming off of 2 losses, all right? He's coming off of 2 losses that has conditioned him and prepared him for what Samuel Peter is going to bring to him. And if Samuel Peter is not on top of his game, Hughie Fury could stop Samuel Peter. But the Samuel Peter that I recently saw in Nevada can give Hughie Fury all he wants. I mean, you know, again, sparring is one thing, gym work is one thing, and fighting is another thing. Hughie Fury has lost 2 high-profile fights, but he went the distance in those fights. You know, he went the distance, and he's anxious to get back in the forefront of boxing. So it's a 50-50 fight to me.
I was meant to ask you about Tyson Fury's American debut. What did you make of the Tom Schwartz fight, him coming to America? Some Americans are not impressed with Fury at all, the way that Fury's been sold by Top Rank. What are your thoughts about it?
I'm not impressed with it either. I think that Tyson Fury is quick to be a big guy like that. He has quick hands, and a big guy like that can't hurt you. Speed, if he applies speed, what he's doing. But I still maintain, nobody has really got in Fury's face. Nobody has really taken the fight to him continuously. I like Joe Frazier. You know what I'm saying? That kind of pressure. No heavyweight has put that kind of pressure on Tyson Fury. To be quick, one thing when nobody's putting no pressure on you, that's all well and good. But if somebody jumps on his ass, jumps on him, stays in his face, and fights him back, I'd like to see how that speed and all those antics that he does, I like to see how that pans out about 7th, 8th, 9th round. I like to see how it pans out with a guy that's putting constant pressure on him. Most of the guys that's fighting him, they're just throwing punches, aimless punches. They're not even looking where the punches going.
I was thinking a guy like Jarrell Miller would just be that guy.
Yeah, Jarrell Miller would put a lot of pressure on him. Jarrell Miller would put a lot of pressure on Tyson Fury because that's Jarrell's game. Jarrell is a no-nonsense, come-forward guy. You know, he's going to cut the ring, and he's going to put pressure on Tyson Fury. And if Tyson can't tie Jarrell up, he's going to have problems with him.
I see that being a very dangerous fight for Tyson because I see Jarrell being able to close the range down on Tyson and get close to him. And I think he's a better fighter than Derek Chisora, personally.
Yeah, well, Jarrell Miller is looking to punch. There's no secret to his game. He's looking to walk you down, and when he gets in range, he's looking to open up with both cannons. And if he lands those punches, he can do damage. He's a big guy at 315. He's a big guy, and he has some mobility in there. He has mobility. He has better mobility than what he's given credit for.
Yes. And what do you make of somebody asked the question, how does a prime David Haye fight Tyson Fury?
David Haye is still a little guy compared to Tyson Fury. You know, I think that he'd have to, like, wishing on a star to land that big punch on Tyson Fury. Tyson is a little too clever, a little too smart for David to land those big punches on him. I think he outpoints David. It could conceivably stop him late, you know?
Yes. Ask Bro Ali, what does he think about Hughie Fury versus AJ? And does he think AJ should get a confidence booster like a David Price? David Price ain't no confidence booster.
I don't know whether David Price is the right fight at this time. I don't know whether David Price is even the right fight.
No, he's absolutely not. A guy's really knocked him out in sparring? Really? I don't think so.
You know, I wouldn't mess with David Price. That's the worst case scenario is to fight David Price.
JD says John McDermott got in Fury's face and beat him. Fury received a gift decision on the night. The blueprint of beating Tyson Fury is already out there. Stay in his face. Randy Orton says that Miller's feet are far too slow, in his opinion. What do you think, Uncle? I don't think that.
Yeah. I mean, Miller's like he's big and he's ponderous. You know, but I don't see, depending upon the size of the ring. Now, if they're going to give Tyson Fury a football stadium ring to fight in, yeah, Jarrell's going to have problems catching him. But if they reduce that, I think that they should make the ring 18 by 18. That's standard, you know. When you get 20 by 20, that's a bit excessive for a boxing ring, I think. 20 by 20 ring, that's just so excessive. You know, I think 18 by 18 is standard inside. 18 by 18. You got guys big as Miller and Fury. The 18 by 18 is suitable.
Okay. Do you think that Joshua should adopt the Vladimir Klitschko style of defense for him to for Joshua to be successful in his heavyweight career?
Say that again.
Does Joshua have to adapt the Vladimir Klitschko type of style because he got knocked out the way he did to be more defensive like Vladimir?
Well, being defensive is not a bad idea for any boxer. You know, the name of the game is avoid taking those shots to the brain, you know? You don't want to be getting hit on the side of the head or on top of the head. So, yeah, the Vladimir Klitschko defense is a good thing for any boxer.
Okay. Do you think AJ's taking too many punches, Uncle?
Well, he took some punches in that last fight, but up until then, he wasn't taking that many punches.
Uncle Bashir, what three comeback fights for AJ would you recommend if you had control of his career?
Eeny, meeny, and miny.
3 guys that can't punch, I think, would be good.
Yeah, I'd give him 3 exercises, you know, to see how well he adapts, and then go back to the top guns. I'd give him three non-threatening fights, guys that's going to stand up, guys that's going to give him work but can't threaten him.
Uncle, if I throw some sparring partners at you, you say you've got AJ, I'm going to throw some sparring partners at you. Tell me what you think would be good to emulate Ruiz or good for Ruiz in a rematch. Sparring partner number 1, David Allen.
Yeah, Dave Allen would be good.
2, Joey DeWaco.
Yes.
Gassiev.
No.
Why?
Gassiev is a puncher.
Sparring.
I don't care. Gassiev is a puncher. Shit. I've known people that spar with Gassiev, and Gassiev is a puncher. In fact, Gassiev and Joey DeWeco is getting ready to fight now.
Joey DeWeco is going to get knocked out by him. Bad.
You think so?
Absolutely.
You think Gassiev will knock out Joey DeWeco?
Clean.
Well, the fight is already made. I think it's July something the fight is going to happen.
Bro Ellie, you're killing me, says Trap Hat Boxing. He's laughing at what you're saying. How long do you think it would take AJ to get an elite jab like Vladimir Klitschko, or is there not enough time?
It takes time. It takes training. Somebody has to be there. You know, like I said, a teacher is going to come back and say, no, this is not good enough. We got to do it again. We got to do it again until we got it right. That's what teachers do. But everybody's a trainer now, you know. Everybody and their mother is a trainer. You know, and everybody's out there at the risk of the fighter's chin, you know, exercising their own idea what boxing is about, and they really don't know.
I want to close on this with you, Uncle. If you look at AJ and the people around AJ, as Spencer Ferron said, he's the leader of the pack. There's nobody of any real, apart from Rob McCracken, there's nobody around AJ who's got any boxing CV in the heavyweight division and have any sort of star quality into how to create champions. Is that a problem?
Of course, when you lead singer and the backup singer too, yeah, that's a big problem, you know. If AJ is out there listening, he needs to sit back in the privacy of his own mind and confront himself and say, AJ, what you need is this. You need a teacher. You need a teacher. And I've told you that, and I say it again. I've told you that as far back as 3 years ago. It's certainly after the Vladimir Klitschko fight, because I didn't see any progression after that. I didn't see no progression after the Vladimir Klitschko fight.
Let me throw you something else here, Uncle. You know, you say you've seen no progression in the Vladimir Klitschko fight. I've seen no progression since that fight he had in the European Championships. He got knocked out and got troubled by the same punches, backing up against a guy that's shorter than him, similar sort of ability, fast hands, swarmer, and getting himself in all sorts of trouble, backing straight up, getting caught with overhand right and left hooks, and getting stopped a similar way to how he got stopped in the amateurs, laying on the ropes, and the referee asking him for the count. So, how has AJ improved? If the way you got stopped in amateurs is the same way you're getting stopped in the pros, how can that be progression in a similar fashion?
You know what? It said when all else fails, you go to the safe and you pull out the equalizer. Ask Deontay Wilder. When all else fails, Deontay Wilder said, look, I know what to do. I'll go in the safe and I'll pull out this right hand and then you'll be gone. Presto, change you and you out of here. So when all else has failed, you got to come out with punches. You understand?
Yep.
George Foreman's answer to any problem was that, okay, as soon as I clock you upside the head with this head, you're going to be gone. And that was the case. That was the case. When boxing fails, everything else fails. With Lennox Lewis versus Vitaly Klitschko, Vitaly was outboxing Lennox. He was outboxing Lennox, and Lennox said, you know what, I'm going to take this to the street. And Lennox took the fight to the street and changed the fight. He changed the direction of the fight because he took the fight to the street. He said, no, what, I'm not doing good boxing this guy, so I'm going to fight him. You understand?
Yeah.
Lennox took the fight to the streets,
roughed him up,
and roughed him up and busted him up and stopped him. All right, that was it.
but as AJ
So,
got that, I get the impression that AJ is a good front foot bully fighter, but when you back him up and push him to ropes and put pressure on him, he seems to crack under pressure. That's what I get the impression of AJ. He doesn't like it when you get up on his chest and put pressure on him. Mid-range and up close, he don't like it.
another thing that I'm saying, when you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you've got to be suited to fight any style and make the adjustments as you go. If somebody gets in there that's better boxing than you fight. If somebody gets in there that's a better fighter than you box. But you've got to be suited to make those adjustments when and wherever they are needed.
Uncle, why?
And that's what AJ don't have no teachers. Robert Kraken, I don't have nothing bad to say about nobody. No boxing trainer. But some trainers are different than other trainers. You have different levels of trainers. Good, better, best, and top trainers.
And legendary.
Yeah, you gotta be thinking out there. You have to think out there. And I know some trainers out there don't like what I'm saying, but I'm calling them out. I'm calling them out. You know, you out there saying the same thing over and over, and you're applying the same teachings to every fighter. Every fighter is different. Every fighter is different, and every fighter should be handled different. Every application is not going to be the same. Some guys are good left hookers that ain't got a jab. Some guys are good jabbers don't have the left hook. Some guys don't have the left hook or the jab, but have a good right hand. So you have to make adjustments and try to find out what the best attributes of the fighters are, and then go forward with that. You build this fortress around his asset about the main thing, and trainers don't do that. They got no idea. Because most of the trainers that's out there haven't been trained themselves. So I don't care if they get upset with me. I don't care. I'm calling them out.
Very, very true. This is the final question. It perplexes me, right? Mike Tyson was 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", but people are still saying
no. I'm 5'9.5". Mike Tyson had to be 6'1".
What?
Mike Tyson had to be 6 feet 6'1". Mike was taller than me. I'm 5'9.5". Mike wasn't no 5'10". No. Mike was taller than 5'10".
Wow.
At best, Mike is 6 feet. 5'11", 6 feet.
Tosh Bear says 5'10", 5'11" at a push.
Listen, I'm 5'9.5", man. All right, I was on the camp with Mike Tyson for 3 years. Mike Tyson has got to be 6 feet. 5'11.5", 6 feet.
Why do people say that this guy's not big enough to do it at heavyweight, that guy's not big enough to do it at heavyweight, but you see them knocking out and stopping guys that are big heavyweights? I don't understand it. That make no sense to me. Where does it come from? He's not big enough. But Evander Holyfield was a small heavyweight and he beat big guys. Where does it come from? Where do people get this false teaching from? Because the guy's not big enough.
And I think that Holyfield would do good in this generation.
So do I. His work rate, his heart, his determination, his inner intestinal fortitude.
You know, going back years ago, I boxed this Southpaw kid. And the Southpaw kid was a tall kid. And he would always beat me. And I would always complain about his style and how tall he was. And my trainer would say, it's not the size of the man that's in the fight. It's the size of the fight that's in the man. I go to fuck out there and fight.
Absolutely.
And he would say that to me. And I would say, did he call me a fag? I would be trying to ask on what and this is no offense to nobody now listening to the audience. I'm just saying what the trainer was saying to me, all right? and I would wrestle with that boy. I said, did he call me a fag? He said, it's not the size of the man that's in the fight. It's the size of the fight that's
inside the man.
Now go the fuck out there and fight, fag. I would get upset about that shit, you know, but it was the case. He was trying to get the best out of me.
Absolutely. Somebody said in here, Michael Hunter's not big enough to become heavyweight champion of the world. I think he's big enough.
Really?
They don't know boxing.
Tell you something. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Keep on thinking Michael Hunter's not the guy.
I know.
Keep on thinking that.
I know. It's the same ones all the time.
Keep on thinking
They keep thinking they don't learn from the AJ situation. They keep thinking because you're 6'5" and 6'7" and you're big that somehow that means you're automatically heavyweight champion of the world.
When a guy, and they keep saying Usyk is not big enough to be champion. When a guy is doing the hitting and you can't hit that guy, then see how much fun it is.
I don't understand. We had an era of guys like we had Michael Moorer, we had Evander Holyfield, we had Mike Tyson, we had Roy Jones. All guys who were heavyweight champion. We had James Toney. We had all these guys go on and we have come heavyweight champion. Or Axel Schultz, Chris Bird, and these guys still keep going on about these guys are too small. These guys are too small, and now they're saying the super heavyweights are too big and too skilled.
It boils down to boxing skills,
and they don't listen. These people are saying that the super heavyweights are too big now. Lennox Lewis was 6'5". Lennox was 6'5". He got knocked out by Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman. They want super heavyweight. They want super heavyweights in terms of size. They were big heavyweight, 6'2", 6'3". I don't understand where this is going from. These guys think because you're big and tall, it makes you a fantastic fighter. That's not true. I keep telling these people, go and watch Mike the Giant White against Michael Moorer. Mike the Giant White was 7 foot tall. Michael Moorer is just 6 foot. I've never seen a 7 foot guy fall so hard in my life. And that Michael Moorer came from light heavyweight, went up to fight heavyweight Mike White, and Mike the Giant White, and knocked Mike the Giant White out. I think these people have got a limited. I don't know why they keep coming up with this stuff. I don't get it. I don't know where they get these ideas from.
Because the average person does not understand boxing. Boxing is, as the word implies, boxing. 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 That's what's going to get you in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
Skills pays the bills. You understand? When you can box, you can get a whole lot out of boxing. What people might not think you can get out of boxing. But Michael Hunter, Alexander Usyk, they're in the driver's seats in the heavyweight division. I'm telling you. And those people out there who underestimate these guys, better keep your eyes on them. I'm telling you. Because they're going to cause a whole lot of problems, a lot of upsets.
Yep.
Because of their boxing skills. Look what Michael Hunter's done already in the heavyweight division.
I know these people don't see that. They don't see it. They don't get it. He's just going to beat up...
And he had who was the last opponent? Who was the last one Michael Hunter fought?
Ustinov.
Huh?
Ustinov.
No, that wasn't the last one he fought.
So was it? Oh, he fought the other night, didn't he? Yeah, he fought the other night.
It was the guy from London that he fought. What's his name?
Yeah, you're talking about the Bacoli fight.
Yeah,
that was AJ's chief sparring partner.
He was looking for a way out. He said, look, man, my arm hurt. Don't send me back out there.
I know. These guys don't know boxing. They don't know boxing.
Said, look, man, my arm is hurting. Chris Bird stopped Vitaly Klitschko.
Exactly.
All right? He stopped Vitaly Klitschko on the stool.
It don't make no sense. These are the same people that say Mike Tyson was a great heavyweight, but then they contradict themselves and say this guy's too small, but Mike Tyson ain't no bigger. I don't understand it.
Mike Tyson is not a better boxer than Michael Hunter.
There we go.
Michael Hunter is a complete boxer. But he got some pop on those punches too.
They don't listen. They don't listen. They got to learn the hard way. They got to learn the hard way. Uncle, it's a pleasure always talking to you. Oh, by the way, do you want to give people a shout out about your Facebook page now? The James Ali Bashir Facebook page?
Yes. You're invited. Everyone is.
Everybody, check it out. James Elliott Bashir. Check it out. If you're on Facebook, get across to his page, James Elliott Bashir. And I believe that Uncle Bashir will do some live shows on that Facebook page. Get across, James Elliott Bashir. It's the life and times of Uncle Bashir and Precision Craft Boxing. For people who want to know more about your boxing, Uncle, in terms of your training camps and what you do, Precision Craft Boxing, give us a little spin on it before you go.
Listen, you can contact me direct. You can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on Instagram. You can contact me on Twitter. Just come on. It's that simple. You know, I got a lot of stuff on my mind. You guys putting a lot of pressure on me here, man.
Uncle Bashir, as always, thank you so much for your expert opinion. We love and appreciate you, and we'll speak to you soon.
All right, this is good night from Warsaw, Poland.
Uncle, take care.
Yes.
So there you have it, Uncle Bashir, as always. Again, check out his Facebook page, James Elliott Bashir. This is it from us at BWTM Sports. Check out the 4-part series I've done, and I will add this of the 4-part series, and I will try and get Stacey McKinley back in the room, trainer of Mike Tyson for over 10 years. Check out Stacey McKinley, a legendary trainer in his own right. So we'll get him in. Stacey McKinley trained Mike Tyson for 10 years. Samuel Peter, Alexander Povetkin, Shannon Briggs. That's 4 fighters. Tony Tucker. So he's got a host of heavyweights at the Heavyweight Factory. So we'll definitely get him in the room. And once again, please smash the like button. As always, smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on these live shows. This is it from BWTM Sports. Thanks for watching. We're out. Take care. Eve, thank you for watching.